So I came out as ace at 41, and it was a really, really challenging experience. Coming around to this really big change in how you understand your experience and how you understand who you are as a person, that's like a really destabilizing kind of experience. And when you're doing that at 41, oh man. I was very lucky because I had a therapist who worked with me through that process of coming out and understanding and embracing my asexual identity. And one of the really big topics we kept coming back to again and again in therapy was my feeling of shame, embarrassment, frustration that it took me so long. I spent a lot of time being upset by the fact that I was coming to this understanding of myself so late in the game. I would call myself just a late bloomer, and I'd express a lot of frustration about being a late bloomer, of falling behind and being behind other people who were better at understanding themselves than I was. This is not exclusive to aspec people. A lot of queer people feel that feeling of, man, I'm behind. I'm falling behind my peers. My story as a queer person is late. I am running late. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this notion of us running late, what that is, what it's about, and what we can do about it. So let's start by clarifying. This feeling of falling behind, this feeling of being a late bloomer, this is not just you. This experience of feeling like you are behind other people in life, the cause of it has a name, and that thing is chrononormativity. Chrononormativity is the idea that we have socially constructed a set journey that people need to go on in order to be successful people in their lives. We as a society have taken certain experiences, certain behaviors, certain steps one takes. We have planted them at very specific points in an individual's lifespan or timeline, and we have said that this is the natural way that should happen. Everyone should follow this particular path. Everyone should hit these marks at this particular time. And if you are doing that, that means thumbs up. You're doing a good job at being a human being. If you are not doing that, womp, thumbs down, something's wrong with you. How did society decide when these particular things should happen at these particular times? Well, the decision was made to support other normativities that exist in societies. So like in our society, we have amatonormative values and beliefs and expectations. There are allonormative ones, heteronormative ones, mononormative ones. All of those normativities have expectations about how to be a successful, good human being. Chrononormativity reinforces them by taking the expectations of the other normativities and setting them along a timeline. So, for example, chrononormativity is what suggests that by a certain point, sort of like in your teens or maybe in your college years, that you should probably have had sex. That is when that should happen. Everybody does it by then. What are you doing falling behind if you haven't had sex by the time you are 17 to 25? What's wrong with you? Because everybody does it at this time. That's chrononormativity. Chrononormativity is out there pushing us to meet the markers that will help us contribute to society's goals the best. And it punishes us by making us socially outcast, by having other people sort of construct us as broken or falling behind or being a late bloomer, these negative constructions. It punishes us for not following the outline, not following the guide. And that punishment encourages you to try to catch up. The reality, though, is chrononormativity is just not a real thing, right? There is no set time when something like having sex or becoming interested in having a relationship or starting a family or getting married. There's no set time that any of those things need to happen in order for you to be a successful human. You can do those things at any time. And also, you cannot do some of those things and not ever hit some of those marks and still turn out fine. Chrononormativity is out there putting the pressure on you and telling you a false narrative about what you should be doing, what you need to be doing, and unfortunately, how bad you are if you somehow don't do them. So now let's talk about how chrononormativity particularly impacts queer people. It should come as no surprise to you by the description of chrononormativity that chrononormativity is really good for straight people. Chrononormativity privileges heteronormative expectations, cisgendered expectations, white-lived expectations. All of the dominant oppressive norms are supported and upheld by chrononormativity. So the problem becomes that queer people, queer experiences, queer lives are not imagined by chrononormativity. Being queer in any way is just not part of the chrononormative plan. So our lives always fall into the punishable part of chrononormativity's impact on society and people. And what does that impact look like? Well, sometimes it looks like pathology. Sometimes it looks like, oh, there must be something wrong with you because you as a queer person can't follow the plan or the pathway. But sometimes it just looks and feels like society and the people around you interpersonally making you feel like you are falling behind. That feeling of, well, I'm just not where my peers are. I'm just not following the plan. I'm blooming late. I'm not arriving when I should be arriving. All of those feelings are the direct result of chrononormativity, not including queerness in its understanding of the world. But think about it. How can you be on time in a system that doesn't imagine you exist? The only way that queer people can meet the expectations of chrononormativity is to live lives that are not queer, to live lives that are not authentic to them, to be queer and try to live a straight life.
Quick thank you to my Patreon subscribers who make videos like this possible. If you want to join the fun there, you can get bonus videos, early access to videos here, and discounts on workshops. Or if you just want to support me here, my YouTube channel memberships offer members-only shorts, early access to future videos, loyalty badges, and custom emojis for comments. Links are in the description for Patreon, or hit the join button.
So what do we do about it? First, we have to do some internal work. Recognizing that chrononormativity exists and recognizing what chrononormativity looks like in the world will help us give ourselves a little bit of a break, which is something we as queer people of all stripes deserve. If we can take the time to really internalize what chrononormativity is, what it's doing, how it's working, and what the impacts are, then we can better recognize when those chrononormative messages show up. When we can better recognize when they're showing up, we cannot listen to them, which is always going to be in our queer benefit. We also need to be aware of when we are producing those chrononormative messages about our own lives. When we say things like, oh, I wish I could have figured this out sooner, or, oh, I wish I could be where my friend is, or, oh, I wish I could be where they are, or have the relationships they have and be at that point in their lives. That's us reproducing chrononormativity on ourselves. If we can recognize when that's happening, we can counter that and put in better, more affirming, more positive thoughts about ourselves. And I think the last bit of internal work that's really important is sort of ditching the calendar that we hold in our hearts and our minds that are sort of charting our progress through life. Ditch the calendar. You don't have any deadlines to hit. Just go and live your life. If we can move through our queer lives, figuring ourselves out when we figure ourselves out, getting comfortable with some part of our queer identity when we get comfortable with that, building relationships when we build them, taking certain steps in intimacy when we feel like taking those steps. When we do all of that, we are pushing back against chrononormativity and supporting us as a queer person. And it's important to remember that the calendar demands that we do those things. We can also choose not to do them. Maybe relationships aren't on the table for you. Take them off. There's no deadline for you to hit them anyway. Maybe taking steps in certain directions in intimacy is just not for you. Fine, don't do them. Not doing things is also a part of resisting chrononormativity. Ultimately, do the thing you want to do when you want to do it, when it's right, when it feels appropriate, when you feel ready to do them. That is how you become a successful person. It's how you become a successful queer person. You don't have to meet arbitrary social ideas about when something should happen. You can just choose to live your cool queer life in the time it takes for you to live it. It's totally okay. So ditch the calendar and go out there and live your best queer life whenever you feel like it. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel rushed. You're not behind. You're good. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe. And as always, my friends, I'm glad you're here.